I'm pretty sure you've seen the routine. Some 23-year-old fake guru in a white linen shirt, wearing his colored sunglasses, sipping his weird mushroom tea somewhere in the mountains of Bali. He journals about letting go on a $400 Notion template, preaches to you about cold showers, dopamine detoxes, and sobriety like he's a monk on a payroll. Meanwhile, his business is making him $4,500 a month while he calls himself retired. My brother in Christ, you are not enlightened. You are unemployed. Let's cut the bullshit. If you're in your 20s and you actually want to build a serious business, you don't need more detoxes. You need more firepower. And the truth is that most high performers are using substances, just not the way you think. Not to relax, not to get high. They use them to go deeper, faster, harder in their workday. No diddy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I use nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol, and how I have turned them into tools to build, scale, and lead better without letting them control me. Let's start with the most misunderstood one: nicotine. First of all, I want to say that I hate cigarettes. I always have. When I was 15, I made a deal or promise to my dad. If I don't smoke cigarettes until I'm 18, he will pay for my driver's license. Because my dad is a very big athlete and he just hates all that shit. So I made him a promise. And you have to know that in Germany, driver's license is fucking expensive. 4,000 euros. Since then, I've never touched a cigarette. And they disgust me. But here is the part that most people do not realize. Nicotine by itself, in the form of gum or pouches, is one of the most powerful and legal cognitive enhancers that exist. Boosts focus, sharpens memory, delivers you clean dopamine, and you don't have any crash, and it's 0 calories. The thing is that you're not smoking, you're not vaping. You are using 1 to 2 milligrams in the form of a gum or a low dose Velo, Zin, whatever you want to call it. And it gets you in the zone like a sniper. It's really nice. The thing is that most people associate nicotine with cancer. I get where you're coming from, but the bad thing about nicotine is the delivery mechanism. Obviously, smoking cigarettes all day is gonna mess up your lungs. But with gum or nicotine pouches, it's just simply not that bad if you don't use the high crazy doses and you follow the other rules. Because nicotine is obviously highly addictive. I've had my phases where I took a bit too much and then I had to force myself to stop because I always had myself under control. And then I set very hard rules, and this is super duper important. I only use it when it gives me an edge, because like that, you form the habit while working. Of course, habit is a habit, but it's a better habit to use it only while working. Maybe it motivates you to work more than to just use it because you want to. There's a difference. Second rule is cycle off. Every 4 to 6 weeks, I take a full 1 week break to totally reset my receptors and my dopamine sensitivity. Because if you don't do that, your baseline will get fried and you turn into a brain fog mess. Because used correctly, nicotine is like a scalpel for your brain. And if you use it recklessly, it's a trap. Gotta say, I can only use it because I have the self-control that I can stop. And I did actually sit down and think about this. If nicotine makes me more productive now and helps me to get shit done, where the reward outweighs the risk, for me, it's a smart decision that I took and that I'm conscious about. Number 2 is caffeine. Everyone uses caffeine, but 95% of people use it absolute morons. Here's how most of you do it. You wake up, slam a triple shot espresso, you feel good for 2 hours, you crash by 2 p.m., and then to fix the crash, you chug more coffee, and then you wonder why you're anxious and tired. Let me break it down, how to do it. Delay your first caffeine dose by 90 to 120 minutes, so 1.5 to 2 hours after waking up. Because like this, you align your natural cortisol rhythm, you avoid the crash, and you'll simply have much more stable energy. I also personally like to pair caffeine and nicotine because there is a reason why every top closer, trader, or creator uses this combo, because it works. You feel locked in, feel like time disappears, your output triples. But again, it's addictive. So just like nicotine, you have to set rules. It's very, very important. And while I was talking about my rules for nicotine, you were probably thinking that for coffee, I don't need rules. But you're wrong. You do. You cycle off every few weeks. It's also very important that you only use it when you have to get shit done. Don't just drink it when you're bored or when you feel like it, when you want to have your caramel frappuccino latte, whatever it's called. That's not the way to do it. You drink black coffee, Americano, espresso, whatever, when you need it, not when you feel like it. You don't need coffee to wake up, and you obviously want to use the effects of caffeine to dominate a block of focused output when you need it. So now, the final one. Alcohol. I have some beautiful Greek ouzo that the landlord of this beautiful villa on some remote island gave me. And let's talk about alcohol. And this is where all the fake discipline influencers will hate me, and they will start coping very, very hard. I don't drink, bro. I'm on the grind. Cool. But you also have zero social skills. You do not have a good network, and you don't have the ability to lead people. So here is how I, substance expert, see alcohol. When I've worked 12-hour days for weeks straight, I go out with my friends and have a few drinks. And I actually enjoy it, believe it or not. You can enjoy alcohol. And guess what? I still wake up the next morning. I still go to the gym. I still eat clean. Because the problem is not alcohol. The problem is what you do when you're drunk. You order trash food. You sleep 4 hours. You skip your morning workout. You waste the next day because you're completely hammered and hungover. Most people use alcohol to escape their life. I use it to reward myself, to celebrate wins, to somehow recharge my brain, and to stay sharp socially. Because I've realized that after drinking, and sometimes drinking a little bit too much, the next day I felt fresh. It helped me with my constant business depression, let's call it. But it's very important that you have self-control. Obviously, you can use alcohol as a tool, but if you don't, it will eat up your weekends and it will fuck up your momentum, believe me. But I also want to say that, especially on YouTube, there's a lot of people that preach this lifestyle of working 14 hours every day for the rest of your life to make a lot of money. And yeah, I do agree. I want to make a shit ton of money, but working is not all I'm about. I want to be someone that has everything, that has success in every area of life. And if you never want to go out and you never want to be social, then maybe I'm not the right channel for you to watch. Because I do think that occasionally sitting down for 2, 3, 4 weeks and completely going heads down, that's what I've been doing the last few weeks, not doing any alcohol, parties, whatever, that's fine. But you should just keep in mind that if you enjoy it and you can get to work the next day and you actually do get to work, there's no problem. I personally see benefits because, as I said, it helps me to reset. And not only the alcohol, but the going out and letting go a bit. Because the best and most creative ideas, I did not have them at my fucking desk. I had them when I was out and about, when I was walking through the forest alone, or when I was partying with my friends. I mean, it depends who your friends are, but you want to drink like James Bond. You want to go out, have a few drinks, enjoy the night. Do you see James Bond going to McDonald's and eating 60 McNuggets? No, I don't. So don't do that. Drink like James Bond. But I also want to talk about a few things that I will never touch. Number one is weed. I've never met a cool... stoners are cool. But I've never met a productive stoner that really is a business mogul, that really gets shit done. Exceptions confirm the rule. So some exceptions exist, but in general, especially if you do it every single day, weed kills your drive. I mean, if you want to smoke once every few months, do it. I'm not a fan, but do what you want. The big thing that I see is that weed makes you feel so good. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've tried weed before. It makes you feel so comfortable and it makes you feel okay with being average, because you feel so good that being average is okay. And I personally have in my life never seen a hungry, high-performing entrepreneur who gets stoned or high every night. Never. The second type of substance that I would never touch is psychedelics and party drugs. You, sir, do not have to find yourself. You need to build yourself, and your empire. You need aggression, clarity, decisiveness. You do not need ego deaths or oneness or whatever all these people call it, because these are not tools. These are distractions. And in your 20s, distractions are the most expensive thing you can buy. And I said I tried weed, but I never tried the other shit, and I don't know if I ever will. It does not interest me at all. But don't forget, I am not your therapist. I'm not your mom. I'm just a humble business owner who scaled a couple companies, who led real teams and built a life of performance. Not by being perfect, but by being disciplined with the edges I chose. Caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, they're not evil. They can be very powerful tools, but only if you build the foundation first. If you have your sleep in order, your training is good, you are able to focus and stay focused, you have clear goals, and most importantly, ruthless standards. Because without that, you are literally a junkie with a calendar. With that, you are a weapon. So stop listening to all the clean people who haven't built shit. If you want to build a business that actually scales, and if you want to win while the others are balancing their chakras, use everything at your disposal. Just don't lose control. If this video hit and you're tired of fake productivity advice and want to see the truth about building real success, you, my friend, better subscribe. Because this channel is for people who want to be dangerous in business and not comfortable. And please, actually let me know in the comments if you have used nicotine, caffeine, or alcohol as a tool, or if you disagree and want to debate it. I will see you in the next one.